Today's topic is about malnutrition and ecology of malnutrition. Malnutrition. It is a pathological state resulting from relative or absolute deficiency or excess of one or more essential nutrients. It can be due to of undernutrition, overnutrition, imbalance, and specific deficiency. What is undernutrition? Condition which results when insufficient food is taken over a long period of time. And overnutrition, condition which results from consumption of excessive quantities of food over a long period of time. Imbalance, it is disproportionate among essential nutrients, and specific deficiency is a relative or absolute lack of individual nutrients. Malnutrition is usually an iceberg phenomenon. Malnutrition results in wasting, stunting, xerophthalmia, nutritional anemia, and endemic goiter. These are the five nutritional deficiency disorders associated with malnutrition. Coming to the ecology of malnutrition, it can be due to conditioning influences, cultural influences, socio-economic factors, health and other services, and food production. First, conditioning influences. Conditioning influences is mainly due to infectious diseases. Infectious diseases which results in malnutrition, and malnutrition leads to diseases. It's like a vicious circle. Infectious diseases like diarrhea, measles, cough, malaria, TB, all these disorders leads to malnutrition. Like inadequate dietary intake leads to malnutrition. When inadequate dietary intake leads to malnutrition, it leads to weight loss, mucosal damage. When immunity lowered, when there is low immunity, it leads to disease. When there is disease, it leads to malnutrition, and it is a vicious circle. Second, coming to cultural influences, they vary from place to place and from country to country. First, coming to food habits, rice is staple food in South India, whereas wheat in North India. So there is difference in food habits. Certain foods which are avoided during certain periods of time, like papaya is avoided during in pregnancy. There is a saying that it leads to abortion, like dal, leafy vegetables, rice and wheats are avoided in nursing mothers. And if pregnant women eats more, there is a saying that the fetus will be big and the delivery becomes difficulty. And all these food habits may lead to malnutrition. Coming to the religious, it has powerful influence on food. Like Hindus avoid eating beef, Muslims avoid eating pork, and Orthodox Hindus avoid eating fish and meat. This is called food taboos. Coming to food fats, it is selections of food like personal likes and dislikes. Another major important which leads to malnutrition is cooking practices like prolonged boiling in opening pans and peeling of vegetables and draining away rice water at the end of cooking. This may lead to loss of vitamins and minerals, which may lead to malnutrition. And child rearing practices as premature curtailment of breastfeeding, adaptation of bottle feedings, and refined food consumption. All this leads to malnutrition. Socioeconomic factors: poverty, ignorance, lack of knowledge about and large family size, growth population. These are another important factors which leads to malnutrition. And food production. Next, food production. Increased food production should lead to increased food consumption. Average Indian has 0.6 hectares of land surface area compared to 5.8 hectares in developed countries. Given best technology, there can be increased food production by several folds, but scarcity of food is not the major problem responsible for malnutrition. It may be true at family level, but coming to the global level, scarcity of food is not the major factor which leads to malnutrition. Coming to health and other services, first, nutritional surveillance. Continuous monitoring and nutritional status of individuals and group of people. First, we should identify groups and individuals via examinations and body measurement by carrying the survey in the villages. Next, coming to nutritional rehabilitations, immediate measures should be given. If they are severely protein energy malnutrition, they require urgent care. If they are less severely malnourished, then Then we should give nutritional rehabilitation centers and nutritional supplements. We mainly target mother and child, and we give via stopgap measures to malnourished child. Next, health education. Mainly malnutrition is due to lack of education in the society. It accounts for 50%. If adequate knowledge is provided to the community, 50% of nutritional problems can be solved. So, health education program should be reinforced.